My name is Miss Lornette Elliott. I have 5 boys, and this is about my second son, Dionte Foster.
My name is Dionte Foster, and I am 28 years old, and I live at Keon Cabbage Tree.
During my pregnancy with Dionte, I was watching the USA tennis, and I come upon the Williams sisters. So since I was pregnant about 4 months into my pregnancy, I started watching tennis. During the time I went into labor, he was one of my hardest delivery I ever went to with Dionte.
I used to attend Key School, which means a part of Keon Primary School. And I was basically slow in my schoolwork. I was academically challenged, so they transferred me to special ed.
My name is Charmaine Blanchett. I'm presently the principal of Cotton Thomas Comprehensive School, the school that caters to special needs learners in St. Kitts. I was the one who assessed Dionte, and during the administration of the assessment tools, I realized that he was a determined student. I remember quite well the morning when I journeyed over to Keon Primary School to assess Dionte. He came in the room smiling, and I realized that he was on a mission. In doing the assessment, he was very determined, and he tried his best, and every now and then he would look up at me looking for some assurance, and I would gently give him a smile, nod my head, and tell him, "You're right, continue." In completing the assessment, after tallying, I realized that Dionte needed a little extra help. So it was recommended that he be placed at Cotton Thomas Comprehensive School.
I didn't want to be there because I was pretty much afraid. One day I liked someone, and she was going to Bastia, and I physically lied to her that I went to Washi. And I learned my lesson from there, and ever since I've told myself I wouldn't lie to any person that I liked. I prefer to be truthful with them than lie, because when you lie, you make it harder for that person to trust you.
He was a handsome guy, very tall, dark and handsome, and of course he was attracted to some girls, and some of the girls were attracted to him. But because of his calm spirit, gentle spirit, he didn't make it on the girls' choice list, so he didn't have any girlfriend here.
I tried, but every time I told them the truth, it was a different response. It wasn't what I was expecting. It's pretty much telling someone the truth, and the look that I got, and they start laughing at me. Just because I told them I went to special ed, they figure that I'm physically stupid, like I can't read or anything. But that's not the case. I'm not stupid, and I can read, but not as good as some people.
Doing a survey with the teachers just before I did this shoot, most of them said that, oh, Dionte was a model student here at Cotton Thomas Comprehensive School. Very helpful, very hard working. One of the teachers expressed that he has never disrespected any teacher on staff. He tried his best. When I said helpful, not only helpful to the teachers, but to his peers, and especially those students who were physically challenged, he would volunteer to push the wheelchair, to help them up the stairs, to help them along the way where they needed assistance. Even to take them to the bathroom, Dionte was willing to assist the teacher's aid in doing that.
And he came home and he said, "Mommy, I want to go to the tennis." But I thought, tennis? Oh, you love tennis? That then I remember when I was pregnant, I was watching tennis with him. So he in turn wanted to play tennis. So I said, okay, well, I never know. You never know what will happen in the future.
My coach, Lourdes, she's the one who came to the school and asked who wants to, who is interested in playing tennis. So I raised my hand and I started tennis between 9 and 10 years old, and I've been playing tennis ever since. And it's been a journey and life-changing journey. And that sport have took me halfway across the world, and I'm happy to be playing tennis. My biggest accomplishment was in tennis is I went to Puerto Rico and I went to California. But in Puerto Rico, I got 2 gold medals, one for singles and one for doubles, and California, I got 1 for singles. I never got a chance to play doubles because I was in a lot of pain, and the reason why I didn't tell them, because if I did, I would have never gone to California.
And even though he was having the pain in his knee, the team went on to California and in turn won a medal. And it felt so good. You're in pain and you still won a medal. I said, oh my God. Dionte is just a fighter. He is a fighter. He is a fighter. And then when he came back, he told me the story of he got sick there, and they took him to the health center and have some x-rays done on his foot. And they told the team, they told the head of the team that when he come back home, here in St. Kitts, he must have a biopsy done, which he did. And at the day of the biopsy, the doctor told the nurse he wanted to see me at his office. So I went to hear what he got to say. So I was done thinking what could happen that he wanted to see me. I was more like in a fear kind of mood. So I said, no, maybe it's all, good. But I went to see the doctor and he told me that he had a biopsy and what they saw, it was nothing normal, but they will do a next biopsy test to make sure that what they see is not it, but it happens to be cancer. So, yes, I break down. I broke down, and from there it's like, wow. My thinking, all of my senses went each way. But I still hold on to a nick of faith and try to handle the situation.
My dream was to go to the US Open, and that's something that I always wanted to do. That was one of my top goals that I wanted to do. There is nothing else that I wanted to do but just play tennis. And it just was kind of devastating when I got my results back from my doctor and hearing that you have cancer. And for me, I couldn't believe it. It kind of hit me in a way, but at the same time, it's more like something that could probably telling you to get closer to family, be more socialized, and just go out being happy with your family and just do a lot of fun stuff to stay active and have a happy family life.
When I learned of Dionte having cancer, it's like, wow, this is a new chapter in our lives. So I began to think of eating habits and what steps should I take next?
So my mom wrote to Hamilton for help, but I think she did it a few times, but she never got any answer. But I think they was busy at the time, so we just do what we have to do. We try to survive as much as we could.
So I asked somebody to help me out to print some sponsor papers, and I did, and hand them out to different people. It didn't make much, but you know, it's a little bit of help still.
Dr. Drew is the one who actually stepped up and set up some appointments for me to meet with the Cuban embassy, and we went to the embassy, tried to get some stuff done.
And he was in the hospital for 2 weeks, and the bone doctor turned the case over to Dr. Wilkinson.
Dr. Wilkinson called around the Caribbean and asked for their opinion or what should he do. The doctors told him that the best thing to do is to amputate. The main source was my knee from the cancer, so he had to amputate. But before he amputated, they sent me for a CT scan, and then it came back with more bad news. And they told me that it's stage 4 cancer. So that there made me more angry. I was scared because I didn't want it to die. I was telling myself I was too young for this, and I have to keep fighting and just pray that someone would help me to get out of this situation. And then there was my boss, Dr. Kimberly Michelle Stewart. With the Sitar Mountain Network team, she raised, I think, over $2,000 US to send me to Barbados to get a visa. And when I got back, I told her that I got through.
I visited his home and visited him in Keon, and there I saw him, of course, in good spirits as he could have been with an amputation as a young man, but I can only imagine how devastating it was for him. And I, conversed with his mom, and she indicated to me how she felt and the help that she wanted. And so we discussed a number of options, including going to Cuba, which I had mentioned earlier. I would have helped him. He eventually went to the United States, which is an excellent option, and got the help there. I was also able to contribute financially to the cause, and I think it shows how important it is that a community coming together to help a family and a young man who otherwise would not have been helped. And for those who would have been involved and who would have helped, I want to thank them also, because I think it was not just a gesture for me alone, but a gesture from community, countries, medical professionals, different people working together to make sure that Dionte would have a good outcome.
Dionte was so positive, even though he learned he had stage 4 cancer. There were times, instead of me comforting him, he was comforting me. I was so, wow. It's like, I don't know, but when I needed a shoulder, he was the one who really gave me the shoulder. I know God was there, the Spirit of God, because I felt some calm, something telling me like, everything gonna be okay, like patting me on my shoulder, everything gonna be okay, everything gonna be okay. But in reality, your son sick, so you're gonna like worry a little bit. No, worry a lot. But he was the one who really was taking care of me, because it's like all of my senses just went to God knows where. I forgot even how to cook, how to clean the house, you know. And by him, I said, wow, this child is very powerful. He's very powerful, and there is a need. And God, when other people see a negativity, there's something positive in this child. Something very positive. I never expect he will, like, you know, being the one to calm me down to, mommy, everything gonna be okay. Everything gonna be okay. And I try to get some sponsorships, and even though I kind of stress out, it's like I always crying, and you know. Wow. Yeah, I had to. Everybody, you got to be strong for him. You got to be strong for him, but he's the one who been strong for me, because alone a child have stage 4 cancer, and it's not a good thing for me.
Osteosarcoma, I would say, is a bone cancer, and it's an aggressive type of bone cancer. And to have stage 4 osteosarcoma is not the best of prognosis. In other words, it's a really tough diagnosis, and to recover from it is even tougher. But this shows the type of young men that we are dealing with, one with tenacity, one with inner strength, and the support he would have received. Because from a medical standpoint, this is one of the diagnoses you would not want one of your patients to have.
But my mom didn't take what happened to me well, because she cried every day, non-stop, and she even, at one point she said she forgot how to cook. So for her, it was hard. It was physically, emotionally, and financially hard.
Guardians, parents, friends, neighbors, community, if you have you know someone who going through a difficulty as cancer, I will advise you to seek God first, seek the help of God, always pray, don't give up, because prayer was one of the best things I ever did, being close to God. I'm a very spiritual person, and I always humble myself, and I even humble myself more learning one of my sons have cancer. Don't be frustrated. Don't, I don't even cry. When I cry, I feel better crying than people tell me, you know, a little, everything gonna be okay. I feel better crying to get off some of my stress, my bad feeling. So, hold on to God. Hold on to God. Just hold on to God. Always pray and listen to spiritual songs, spiritual godly songs. It will help you. I had Darlene Sheck on my phone, and every night I cried myself to sleep with Darlene Sheck. There are times I go to work, I go to work good, but when I reach, it's like I break down. And it's like I just sing some spiritual songs and pray along the road. Pray. People call me, yeah, don't talk to yourself, but it's not you talk to yourself, you talk to God about your situation. And it helps. Even if you got to rough up God, I said, God, he is a good child. He didn't do nobody nothing, and you got to come through for me. And that's what I did. And I felt the Spirit of God in me that night, in the upon my bed, crying. I said, God, you got to come through for me, because he's not a bad child. He ain't disrespecting nobody, he ain't thief, he ain't do nothing, and you can look down and you can help him. You will help him. I rough up God a little bit. So, I humble myself still, but I rough him up. And as his things start to work out, he get a visa, and then things were put in place for him to go abroad.
When I start losing my hair, I was kind of shocked, because I kind of took a handful of hair on my head. I was like, my hair is falling out. And I just continued pulling them out to see if it would stop, but it didn't. But eventually, my friends who I was staying with, Brayton, he's the one who told me, I think you should just cut your hair so it'd be less messy when all the skin will start getting stronger, you know? Because with chemo, probably some of you guys already knew that chemo is more like, it's poison to your body. And if you think about it, no, chemo is like your soldiers, you're at war with cancer. So chemo is the one who's what's helping you get through this. But with chemo, you have to be very aware. Chemo can do one of the two things: is you either die or you survive.
And it's when he went, it's like click, like my senses don't come back. All my senses don't come back. This click, I feel it click. Yes, God. There are times I will left to work at nights and go work, and I did like, you know, walking like a zombie is like, I know I'm in my body, but I feel I don't lose a lot of weight. So I feel my pants falling down, and you're walking like, it's not easy when you have a child with cancer, going through cancer, stage 4, you don't already seen him. So all what you want to do is just try to help. Wow.
Gentle, you say, alright?
I'll be here.
Oh, the pain, don't study the pain. Just know you're strong in that. Don't study the pain. Which part you feeling the pain really? In your belly?
My chest.
Your chest?
Yeah.
When you talk, it hurts?
Oh, yeah?
Don't talk too much.
You don't do too much talking.
We just want to check up on you. We want to talk. And you got to get the rest. You taking medication?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're talking, it's good.
The talking is good?
You help. Yeah, you help expand the
Okay.
lungs.
I see you shutting your eye them.
For pain, yeah. I'm so happy to see you, Sonny. We know everybody. Miss Matthew said to say hi. Miss Matthew from the social welfare said to say hi. Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, so you know, we are here rooting for you, and we love you. We keep praying for you for speedy recovery.
And we pray that God bring you through this with health and strength. And stay believing. Don't think nothing negative. Don't think about the pain getting over you or anything. We got God for you. No, open your eye them like that. That's what the enemy wants. He wants you to open your eye them wide. To say like, wow. I know you're in pain. We know you're in pain. You know you're in pain.
You don't understand what kind of pain it is.
Ain't about understanding the pain. God stronger, God tougher than your pain.
I know.
Yes. That's why I want to focus. Don't focus on the pain. Focus on yourself, see getting better. Focus on getting better. Sing some gospel. You got Facebook turning up for you right now. Everybody praying for you and crying for you.
How I got through my cancer is my other aunt who passed away from pancreatic cancer. I used her death as a motivation to keep fighting. Cancer took her away from us, so I told myself I can't let it take me as well. So I use her death as my motivation, and my victory goes out to everyone who have cancer or who didn't make it. So I use my victory for all of the people who did not make it through their cancer treatment, who didn't survive cancer. When they told me that I was cancer free, it was a relief. I was happy. I was very, very happy to be alive. But at the same time, I was questioning myself. Like, I was like asking myself, like, why me? Why me? When I had both of my legs, I was telling myself, maybe when I'm about 25, I will start a family, but things change at the age of 21. Me having cancer, losing my leg, and then me trying to put myself out there. I did it a few times. I wasn't successful with it, so as I try, I just keep getting hurt. So the more I got hurt, the more I shut down, and after I keep trying, and more I try, more I get hurt. So I physically told myself I'm not gonna try anymore. I was thinking about getting a fresh going somewhere else different, like to the US, to get a fresh start.
Dionte Foster struggles continued as he tried to accept losing his leg and dealing with the harsh reality of the world.
Affected in a way that I didn't expect would have happened. People see me, they look at me like I was one of the most disgusting things they ever seen. There's a time that I went to a funeral in Keon. I think I was the first person to jump out the bus, and when they saw me, they just cringed their face like I was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. Going back to tennis, it was challenging. But at the same time, for me, I didn't want it to be out and about, because I didn't want no one to see me how I am, like a one-legged guy. And it was hard for them to see someone as young as I was with a one leg. So it was kind of hard, but at the same time, when I got there, it was even harder for me seeing other people running around, and I am the one who can't run around like them.
After struggling on crutches, Dionte received great news from Louisville Prosthetics that he would be given a leg that would help him to play tennis once again.
I went to Connecticut. There's an event there that they do have every year. It's called Dream Ride. One day they brought me up on the stage, and they said it would have helped me, and I kind of break down in a way, because I wasn't expecting that, because I was nervous at the same time. I didn't know what would have happened. I don't know if it would have just fall down. I don't know what would have happened, but I kind of break down in a way, because for me, I don't break down for nothing. Nothing do break me down. But somehow they make it happen. I kind of doubted myself sometimes, like I don't think I'm gonna ever play again. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I'm here in the court today playing tennis again, so it's pretty remarkable. I'm gonna show my coach that I can play again. Well, a couple of days ago, when I got here Saturday and went and get the molding done, and the next day I was like trying to learn to use this, which means I didn't trust the leg as much as I do now. Yesterday is the first time I've put my crutches aside and played tennis a little bit, and I'm doing a lot better today than yesterday. But it's amazing to be here playing tennis again. It'll take a couple of days for me to get used to the leg a little bit. And I never expected I would be on my feet this quickly. But it's pretty amazing. The most I can say now, I would like to say thank you to all the people who are supporting me and helped me to get to where I am today, and it's pretty remarkable. I was saying this cancer can't beat me. I have to reach to the finish line before it reached the finishing line. I was like, no, I can't let something like this take my life. I have to beat cancer and throw him away and be strong and be strong for the world. The new journey I'm taking is to motivate others and not like whoever is going through cancer or whatever your trials are. I think you guys should just give life the respect that it deserves and keep going on, push on, and when you fight, you can get through almost anything. Everyone is gonna be happy that I'm back on my 2 feet. If they're watching, I'm coming home for you, kick some butts.
So, the young man who once used to assist the disabled at school was now receiving his blessings.
In 2018, I went to my first tennis tournament in 2018 in Texas. And unfortunately I didn't win, but I did my best. And then the second year I went back and I won my first tennis match, so I was happy for that and I couldn't stop smiling. So I want to thank everybody at USTA TAP for persons with disability. Thank you for allowing me to come to that event, and hopefully I can keep coming and proving other people wrong that we are very important, a part of this society.
Would you believe it if they say you wouldn't make it? I know you've been through the struggles and it's piercing through your soul. But if you learn from them, you'll be a greater person. Yeah. You gotta keep going, you gotta keep going. No matter how long it will take you. You gotta keep going, you gotta keep going. Don't stop until you know better. You only fail when you stop trying. Just keep your head above the waters and don't limit yourself, no. You gotta raise the cross, oh. You are a champion.
My mom said she said something, and she said if I ever lose you, I don't know how I'm gonna recover from something like this. So I tell myself, you know what, I gonna fight. I told Dr. Hendrickson the same thing. I gonna fight, and I ain't gonna stop until the very end. And I fought and I fought and I fought, and I won the battle. Thank God, and thank my family, my friends, and everyone who was praying and who was around me and showing me a lot of positive stuff.